So right now, Dan Campbell on this season is 2-3, 3-3 against playoff teams, and until that changes, man, you know, I you know, people. The thing I've heard is, oh well, Dan Campbell went for it on fourth down 5 times, didn't get any of them, but continued to do it. So he's gonna learn from this, and and then Dan Campbell after the games said, "Well, we went for it on fourth down all those times because that's who we are. So that's who you are, but you're gonna learn from it. But that's who you are, but you're gonna learn from it."
Well, I think he said that he shouldn't have went for it all those times, but going for it is who we are. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I think that you know me. You know me. Everybody, a lot of people have a problem with Dan Campbell going on fourth down, and I am one to whenever you get upset about it, or whenever people get upset about it, I always say, well, I like the fact that Dan goes for it on fourth down because it's gotten us to where we are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we wouldn't be the team that we are without going for it on fourth down. But if you're gonna go for it on fourth down, we got to do what we do, and usually we get those fourth downs. You know what I'm saying? We're the team that comes through in the clutch moment, and we get those fourth downs. My problem with Dan last night is when when you started going for it on fourth down, you didn't read the room. You know what I'm saying? First time you went for it, cool. Second time you went for it, okay. After that, you by then you can understand the fact that the offense is not moving the way that it should be moving, and that it needs to. It's you got to read the room and understand that tonight is not the night that you need to be going for it. But Dan didn't get that. Not only did he not get that, he kept going for it, and he doubled down and even went for a fake punt, which I thought was so desperate that I'm like, why is he going for a fake punt? On national. I mean, like people know, like he did it. What was it, last year or was it the year before he did that fake punt? Back then, people weren't expecting it from him. Now you're the guy that goes for it on fourth down. People are looking for you to do stuff like this. So it just and the offense is not running on all cylinders. It just felt desperate to me. So that's my problem with Dan Campbell. Um, I think that he will learn for it. I think that he will learn from it. I don't think that now when I say learn from it, I think that he's always said that he goes for it on fourth down when he has a when off a field. He has a field that that he goes off of. And last night he wasn't listening to that field. He was just being stubborn and going for it. So when I say learn from it, I feel like he can learn how to read the room and know that yeah, now's not the night to go for it. But will he stop going for it completely? No, I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah, I've heard him say he has a feel. I've heard that so many times, and I'm 100% convinced that the feel is always go for it. Like, and I was willing to have that discussion or debate or have my mind change, but Dan Campbell's been here like what 4 years now, so like no, he's gonna go for it. He's always gonna go for it. You know what this game reminded me of? Speaking of, he's gonna learn from it. This game reminded me of the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, Dan Skipper didn't report as eligible. 2 point conversion nullified. Well, let's run a 2 point conversion again, and then that was a penalty or something like that. So what do they do? Let's run a 2 point conversion again. Like that was such a bad moment, and he got killed for that. And debate and people nitpicked him and everything. And He came right back and did it. Let's go 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Just because something happened 2 years ago don't mean that you can't have learned from it. Like you don't forget. Like you got to be. Does he have to be reminded every year that hey, I can't just keep going for it? Like no. Like the feel. Like it's the angel and the devil, and he's only got the devil, and the devil's like
No,
gamble,
well, no.
gamble,
So
gamble,
so
gamble.
so when I say it's 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago. My point is that Dan Campbell has this reputation, like like we don't have a punter and he never uses the punter. Like if you went off word of mouth, you would think that we don't even use our punter. You know what I'm saying? And I think that these moments like them bad moments, stand out when we don't get it. When we have a bad night, they stand out more than the success we have from going from it. And and the fact that we do punt the ball. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't go for it every single time we get on fourth down. He does punt the ball. You know what I'm saying? But when we have bad moments like these, they just stand out more. And I feel like whenever people are talking about Dan Campbell, friend of mine last night, I was talking to him, and he was like, "Man, Dan Campbell, he never punched the ball." And I was like, "No, he didn't last night, but he does punt the ball."
The thing about Dan Campbell, right? It's not just last night. It is the fact that we might not have been doing the pod, but this is like the fifth time we've had this exact same conversation. So, like, at some point, something's got to change because you keep finding yourself in these big moments doing the same thing. And I mean, yeah, sometimes it does work. Sometimes it does work. You're right. Sometimes it does work. Sometimes he does punt. But I swear, for him to punt, you got to twist his arm, tie him down, and tase him. And then finally he'll say, all right, I'll punt. But like it's got to be like 4th and 17 for him to punt, or 4th and 9, and they just keep they just got sacked twice or something like that. Okay, he'll punt on that. But like, yeah, if there was times where he went for it on like what 4th and 7 last night. There was times he went from it on his own territory, and to go back to these conversations that we've had before. I remember, and early in Dan, it always goes back to that Minnesota game where he should have kicked the field goal and he went for it. And I don't even remember if they won or lost that game, but I just know me and you talked about it. And my thing
They
was,
lost. They
you said
lost
they
that
lost.
game.
My thing was, oh, you're like, oh, well, he's got to gamble because he doesn't trust whatever. He doesn't trust his defense or whatever. And I'm like, and his offense is a better unit, so he's gonna gamble it. But
And he didn't have a kicker at the time.
and he didn't have a kicker at the time. So my my response to that was, well, why don't you take the gamble and put it in your defense's hands? Because they might get a stop. Who knows? But if you take it out of their hands, and now that was back then. I was willing to put the game in the defense's hands back then. Last night, your defense played out of its mind. Thank God. God bless Aaron Glenn. I'm happy for you, but thank God we have Kelvin Shepherd, because Kelvin Shepherd had them boys ready last night, and I mean, they was stopping the tush push, the invincible, unstoppable tush push. They was out there
Yes.
stopping that, and you are still doing the same thing that got you in trouble, and it got you out of jams at times too. But you still don't believe in your defense. Your defense is playing their ass off. They playing way better than the offense today. And again, you just gonna go back to what you used to do. So when people tell me that he's gonna learn from it, I disagree. He's not going to learn from it. He's going to go out there, and if
Well,
the same opportunity presents itself again, he's going to do the
but
same thing.
well, I think the situation is that you can fall into bad habits. I mean, you can fall into old habits, and the way you're presenting is like that. We have this discussion every week. Like
No,
you're going back
we have it a couple times
like
every
once
year.
a year. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times every year. It's the same amount of bad Jared Goff games, and when they happen, they are huge and they are impactful.
I don't know, man. I feel like he can. Dan Campbell can get stubborn, and I think that's where he was at last night. He was trying to find a way to get to jumpstart the offense,
I feel you.
and and he put the offense out there, but at the same time, man, a lot of those a lot of those were the it actually worked. You know what I'm saying? At least at least 4 out of 5 of those players worked. But Saint Brown dropped 2 of them. JMO dropped 1 of them. Another one was I think another 2 where Saint was covered and golf through it anyway. Um and and then you got the couple where I don't know who the hell golf saw a ghost out there and he threw it to him. So I don't know, man. I feel like the play was there and the play was there and he just didn't the players just didn't execute. Golf didn't execute because even the drop that even the drops that Saint had one Jared Goff threw it behind him or he led him too far or you know what I'm saying it was going into or it was way too low and he had to fall to the ground and try to get it. Like they were even though the ball hit Saint in his hands, they were bad throws. And then the one that JMO dropped, he threw it at his knees. So I mean, and I'm not making excuses for them. The ball was catchable. I mean, the ball was in their vicinity. They should have caught the ball, but they were bad throws. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those should have been conversions. Those should have been picked up. And on a normal day, on any other day of the season, we make those plays. But last night we didn't for whatever reason. We weren't making those plays. And my problem with it is that he didn't recognize that the offense was off, and yeah, he kept on doing it. But the players were there. You know what I'm saying? And normally we do it, but you got to know when you got to know when to fold them.
You're not lying. Last night was the old fable, the tortoise and the hare. And going into the game, I told you I was super confident in the Lions. I said the Lions are gonna win by at least 7, right? Because when I looked at the stats, the only thing that the Eagles did better than the Lions was take care of the ball and not commit turnovers, not give the ball away. It wasn't even that they take the ball away at a inordinate clip. They just don't turn the ball over. Number one in the NFL of not turning the ball over. And I'm like, I mean, that's a great stat. but I mean, we're better on offense. We get more sacks than them. We blah 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 blah. But no, last night that was it, man. That was it. They took care of the ball. We had the one turnover, and it was that close of a game. Like literally, it was a one possession game, and that was the game. And that was the other thing. I don't know if we've ever seen a Dan Campbell team win that type of game.
We've won a rough, ugly game before, but you know what? You know what I saw the difference with that game because um both defenses played great yesterday, both offenses played awful yesterday. The difference in that game was basically the drive after we scored. The Eagles came down and scored. They drove downfield and they scored. That was their best drive of the game. Other than that, man, Jalen Hurts had like 100 and I want to say like 170 yards or something like that. He didn't have the best game, but you know what Jalen Hurts did? He converted his third downs when when we had him on third down and all we needed to do was make one more stop to get off the field. Jalen Hurts will run for a first down, and
Go ahead.
and he would keep the drive going. And when when it was time for us to convert our third downs, we did, and that was the difference in the game.
You wouldn't happen to, off the top of your head, you wouldn't happen to know any you wouldn't happen to know that ugly game that they won.
Uh Not off the top of my head.
That's cool.
I'm sure.
Dog, dog,
I'm sure. If I look for it, I can find it. Though.
dog, I gotta disagree with you, man. First of all, the reason that the Eagles won is gonna sound the craziest thing. The reason that the Eagles won is because they just punted the ball. That was it. They just punted the ball. They did what I've always said Dan Campbell doesn't do. The Eagles took what the game gave them. The football, I'm telling you, man, football has a way of just telling you what to do. And Dan Campbell spits in the face of that. And to your point, it's usually very successful. But when you play Super Bowl caliber teams, sometimes you got to play the game that's given to you. The Eagles, the Lions were 3 of 13 on third down. The Eagles were 4 of 15. However, the Lions were 0 for 5 on fourth down. The Eagles was 0 for 1 on fourth down. All the Eagles did was just take what they gave them. And what the game gave them was 5 times turnover on downs. So like you are giving the game away by putting yourself in that position. Now, had they made a play, yeah, they wouldn't have been in that position. But there lies the rub. You know, that's the risk you take when you take that chance. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you on that point.
Detroit basketball.